Have a nice gay.
Hey, beautiful. It's Friday, June 2nd, 2021. Welcome to Have a Nice Gay, the podcast that believes it's always better late than never. I'm Dan Garlington from Gayish, and I'm here with my friend and co-host, Mike Johnson. How's it going, Mike?
Great, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So as you said at the top of the show, this episode is late, and I'm sorry, everybody. It's hot, and I'm busy, and sometimes I can't follow a schedule. So
yeah, we had record-breaking heat wave up here in the Pacific Northwest this week, and finally coming out of it, and it's like kind of muggy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I'll try to do better. Okay, so
it's okay, Mike. Better late than never.
I appreciate that.
And you've got a quote for us today, right?
Yeah, I wanted to do an LGTBQ today, and it's actually a couple of quotes, but something we haven't really done are like the less serious quotes about queer stuff. And I just wanted to give you a couple of quotes from Cher, renowned global gay icon Cher.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Per usual, it's maybe important to talk about Cher, but if you don't know who Cher is, that's okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Cher. She is a pop icon, and she rose to popularity in the 1960s, and gay men especially just love her. She's like one of the most emulated people for drag queens. She is just cranked out all of these banger hits throughout the years that are just dance floor sensation. On top of already being a queer icon, she also rather famously has a son who has had a really very visible and complicated queer history that she has been a part of. So Cher's son, Chaz, was assigned female at birth and at first came out rather publicly as a lesbian, and then later came out as trans and transitioned, and his name became Chaz Bono. And it's really interesting to me, some of the things over the years that Cher has said about queer people, but especially her son. In an interview just this last year in 2020, she said, quote, she's talking about her familiarity with gay people and what she thinks about gay people. She said, quote, "One day I came home and there were these two men in my living room with my mom and my aunt, and they were doing their hair and they were talking. And I was thinking, why haven't we ever had these kind of guys around? Because these guys are like the coolest." Then when they asked her about the trans community, she said, quote, "I think people are fearful and they just don't know how to react to it. Some of it's religious. I'm just not sure why it's such a big thing. And I try to talk to people on Twitter, or people come up to me and I just say, just relax and you guys will get through it. You'll get through it together." She also admitted that when Chaz came out to her as trans, that it was that she didn't handle it as well as she wished that she could. She said, quote, "It was very unlike me to, in the beginning, have a problem with Chaz being gay. And that disappeared like that. And then we talked about him being trans for many years." She said, and this is the quote, this is the LGTBQ quote, "Ultimately, his happiness helped her to accept the change. Quote, you have one child, but you don't really lose them. They are just in a different shape. And Chaz is so happy, so unbelievably happy." And trans people don't owe you physically transitioning to be valid as trans, but I think that that's not her point. Like she's pointing to the fact that her as a mother felt like she was losing her child going through this experience, and that's just not true. And I think that there's a lot of wisdom wrapped up in that, and hopefully some parents that might be struggling can sort of latch onto that as a sign that yeah, it's going to be okay.
Absolutely, that's lovely, and a great little lesson about Cher.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for LGTBQ on Have a Nice Gay. Join us tomorrow for a reading is Fundamentally Gay. We are at Have a Nice Gay Pod on all social media, and our website is haveanicegay.com. If you have a quote from an LGBTQ person, email us at haveanicegaypod@gmail.com. Until tomorrow, have a nice gay, Mike.
Have a nice gay, Dan.
Have a nice gay.